I'm trying to see if I can see. I'm going to double check. You are live. Well, hello everyone. My name is Ann Lassen and I work with the University of Arizona in Tucson, Arizona. And today I'm going to give a general overview about what the U of A has to offer, and I'll be able to field any questions that you have as well. You can see on our PowerPoint presentation in our welcome that we like to highlight a lot of our rankings and notable things about the University of Arizona. I always say that All right, Maureen, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I think I'll wait until I see other participants in the room before I present much more. Okay. So one of the most challenging questions that I have to answer when students are interested in U of A is, what is the University of Arizona known for? And part of the reason that it's hard to answer that question is that the U of A is a very large school and we are known for all kinds of things. We have a really diverse group of students and of majors to offer students. We have about 40,000 students on our campus that are studying everything from the fine arts and business to medicine and creative writing. So you can see a few things featured on this PowerPoint presentation. You can see under number 9, Tucson was recently ranked as one of the best weekend getaways. So we'll talk a little bit about the community, about the campus, but again, just wanted to start off and show you some of the highlights about what the University of Arizona has to offer, because it is a big school and we have quite a bit of options for students. So we usually tell you that you're limited only by your imagination. To start with, the University of Arizona was established back in 1885 before Arizona was actually officially a state. So there's a rich history in the city of Tucson for the University of Arizona. You can see a shot here of our football stadium. It has grown quite a bit since then, and we're actually playing tonight. We have a brand new end zone that's really beautiful and a cafeteria that all students can access on campus. The next shot you can see is of a mountain. It's one of many traditions that students have on our campus of going up each year and painting the A. And then the last shot that you'll see here is our old main. This was the entire university when we started back in 1885, and now the campus has grown a lot since then. Our campus, however, though, is pretty condensed considering that we're so large. You walk from one side of campus to the other in about 10 or 15 minutes, so we really tell students it's a walking, biking campus. You do not need to have a car on campus to get around. The majority of our incoming students do live on campus for their first year, so it's a really great campus to navigate. We encourage students to live on campus. So you will still see this beautiful building, our old main, in the center of campus when you come to tour, which is something that I'll talk about soon. Our campus has changed a bit since then, so I'll show you some more updated shots of what our campus looks like. It's not only a place to study, but also a place to play. We have a lot of fun here. This first shot is of something that we call our mall. It's a long stretch of green grass down the center of our campus, and because the weather in Arizona is so beautiful for most of the year, our students really live on the mall. We have all kinds of events that take place. This year our spring fling will be taking place. It's our student-run carnival on campus. We have a book festival, all kinds of things that will happen throughout the year on the mall. So this is what the campus looks like today. We have a certain number of red bricks that are required to be in every new building that we build on campus, and this is a shot of our agriculture building, one of the many historic buildings on campus. And then this is an updated shot of the old main that I showed you just recently. We're renovating this building right now, but it's in the center of campus and really something that we're proud of. Next, I want to talk a little bit about Tucson. We have about 1 million people that live in the city of Tucson, and it really is a traditional college town experience. I always tell students that if you come and live on campus, you really are going to be walking distance to most of the great things that are happening in the city, because when concerts and shows and performances come to Tucson, they perform on our campus. It really is a great community, really fun to go to football games. Even if you're not a sports fan, I always tell students there are a few things that compare to the experience of being in that stadium and hearing the students chanting, U of A, U of A. So it's a really great place. The community supports our students and supports our sports teams. It really is that traditional college town experience. Let's see. Our next slide, talk about housing. I mentioned a little bit ago that the majority of our incoming freshmen do choose to live on campus, but we don't require students to live on campus, so you really have a choice. We have 22 residence halls for students to choose from, and they range anywhere from historic buildings on our campus all the way up to residence halls that were opened in 2011. Brand new buildings that have all of the latest and greatest technology, the smart rooms that know if you're not there and they turn off the outlets and the lights so that we conserve energy. So there are a lot of different choices when it comes to our residence halls. Really big communities if you're a social person that's looking to get connected and wanting to meet people. And then we have the smaller halls as well. Some of the older halls they tend to have more traditions that are passed on from one class to the other. So even though students tend to want the brand new, the best and the brightest residence halls, I usually encourage students to check out a variety, because I think that sometimes the older halls, they have more character and, like I said, some of those traditions that get passed on from year to year. We do not require students to live on campus, as I mentioned, but we really encourage it, because our students who live on campus for the first year have higher graduation rates. They also get more connected on campus, and we really do want you to have much more than just a great academic experience. We want you to have a great social experience. It's important that you establish a home away from home, and living on campus is a really important piece of that. So we encourage students to live on campus, and that's why we ask you to apply early, because the most important date and probably the hottest commodity on our campus is housing. So apply early so that you can get your application to housing in, because students can't apply for housing on campus until they've been admitted to the University of Arizona. So that's usually my advice. First thing to do when you get your acceptance letter is be ready to apply for housing. And again, 22 choices in your options. The next piece, I want to show you a few shots of them. Like I said, they really vary from historic buildings like this one, Maricopa Hall, to a brand new residence hall. This is actually just for honor students. It's called Árbol de la Vida, which is the Tree of Life, and it houses over 700 of our honors students, and is just an incredible building that you'd be able to tour if you come to campus. And then this last one is a shot of our stadium, and you're asking yourself, do students live in the stadium? And the answer is yes, we have housing here as well. So a lot of diversity in the options in terms of where you can stay on campus. And then the last one, another historic building on campus, Yavapai. Because we are a big school, one of the things that we encourage students to do is getting involved on campus. It makes a big school feel smaller, and we have over 550 clubs and organizations for you to choose from. Now, they range anywhere from really serious clubs that are all about academics. We have a nursing club whose acronym is PAIN, P-A-I-N. We have a pre-med club, we've got pre-law clubs, we've got really fun clubs, a zombie invasion preparation club, for all of those of you who are worried about a zombie invasion. We have fun clubs that are, all about dancing or about music. We have the traditional Greek life on our campus. About 15% of our students participate in Greek life, and it's a really great way to get involved and to find a community on our campus. We also have a lot of sports. So if you're not competing at the Division I Pac-12 level, then you can still get engaged in sports on our campus. We have 3 different levels of club sports that students can participate in. So if you're the kind of person who just says, I want to stay active and I want to have fun, but I'm not really serious or competitive, we have that level of sports. And if you're at the level where you want to be able to scream at someone if they drop the ball, then we have that level of competition as well. So there's a lot of different options for you to get involved. And again, it's a really important way to get connected to students on campus and get to meet people that have similar interests than you do. In addition to just being a great way to meet people and to make a large school feel smaller, it's also a really great way to build your resume. We have clubs like our Blue Chip Leadership Program where students learn all about different levels of leadership. It's great for your resume. We want students to not only focus on their education but also on developing their brand at U of A. We want them to graduate not only with a degree, but we also want them to graduate with a resume, really strong experiences that they can take into an interview and say, not only did I study this in the classroom, but I also had these experiences on campus. I was the secretary or the treasurer or the president of this club. We want you to get involved and have those experiences. So if you're interested, you can check out our website now and start to scroll through the long list of clubs and organizations and see if we've already got something that's a good fit for you. And if you happen to not find something in that very long list, we also have an opportunity for students to create their own club, which is, again, great resume builder. The next slide is all about research. Now, the University of Arizona is a Research One top-tier university. And what that means is that we get a lot of money, not only from the state of Arizona, but across the country to participate in research. We recently received an $800 million grant to do research on asteroids. And, you know, I'd love to explain it, but it's quite frankly way over my head. But we will be going out to asteroids and taking pieces and bringing them back to study them. And that's just one example of incredible, really groundbreaking research that the university is doing. We are very strong in the sciences, but research happens across our campus in really every discipline. So if you want to understand how, you know, Red Bull has affected your generation, you can get involved in that kind of research. There's all kinds of things happening on our campus that can really give you a hands-on experience in the field that you're interested in. One thing that I tell students very often about research is that it's a really great way to either cement your passion for something, you get involved and say, I knew I loved this, I want to do it for the rest of my life, or you might start getting involved in research and say, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't think that I want to do this type of engineering, or I don't think that I want to do this type of work. So we encourage you to get involved. It is a great way, again, to build your resume, but to get that hands-on experience for the career world. So research is a big piece of what we do, and we're really proud of the things that we have going on our campus. Our next slide is all about the value of a U of A education. We know that both parents and students are more and more concerned about whether or not getting a college education is worth the expense, and we understand that. So we have invested a lot of time and energy into developing a career center that supports students from day one on our campus. So students can go and get help with resume building because we encourage them to work on campus. It's a really great way to get involved in addition to the clubs and organizations. But we also want students to understand how to successfully do interviews, help them understand that getting internships and different jobs on campus is a really great way to start to build up that resume and really find a path so that when they graduate and they have that degree, that they're really real world ready. We were recently rated the best return on investment in Arizona by Bloomberg Big Business, and we're really proud of that. Students that come to U of A to get a degree are really successful, and it's important to us to help every single student not only have a great academic experience but also leave prepared for the world of work. So, in our next slide, this is a really fun new feature that anyone can use on our website. You do not have to be a student in order to access this. It's called Degree Search, and it allows students to really get a better idea of what they want to study. On average, students change their major about, I think it's 3 to 4 times. And part of that is due to um, being unsure about what you want to study, but I think often it happens also because students go off to college and they take one class and they're inspired by a professor or by a subject that they didn't even know existed before. So we encourage students before they even come to the university to start to explore our majors. Because we have over 100 undergraduate choices for students, it can feel a little overwhelming in the application process as a senior in high school, to know whether or not, which degree is going to be a good fit for you. So anyone can log on. The website is degreesearch.arizona.edu, or you can just Google it. But when you log into the site, you can see this next shot shows how you can narrow your search. So if you are really interested in being a part of our Eller College of Management, because you've heard that U of A is really excellent for business students, you can just select that college and look at all of the degree options there. Or if you don't know which college you're interested in, but you know that you're a really social person or an artistic person, you can select that under the Self-Exploration tab. And then it will narrow down your options. If you know exactly what you're looking for, you can just type in your specific major, whether it be animal sciences or business management, and it will give you quite a few things on there. It'll not only give you a summary of what that degree option is, it will tell you what your 4-year plan will look like, because we know it's important both to students and to parents that they graduate in 4 years if possible. So it'll give you a list of every course that you're going to take at U of A for the next 4 years, and I think that's something that a lot of students appreciate being able to see. And the more you do that exploration early on and see those courses, you may look that in year 3 you're going to have to take an advanced chemistry class and say, oh, I don't know if that's going to be a good fit for me. So we encourage students to explore this early on. There's also a tab that will share possible career options and salaries, because a student may know that they love biology, but they don't know what kind of career that they would have if they went into that program. Oh, and we've just got a question online. It says, are students required to declare a major? And the answer is that students are not required to declare a major, although we do encourage them to. If a student is interested in the sciences, for example, but they don't know what particular major they want to study, we would encourage them to declare that they are undecided in the College of Science. But if a student really just feels like, I have no idea what direction I'm going in, they can be just generally undecided. We have great resources on our campus to help undecided students figure out what is a good path for them. In addition to career fairs on our campus, we also host major fairs, so students can explore the different majors, and we have advisors on campus that are specialists in helping students that are unsure about what to study. So we have the Center for Exploratory Students so that they can help find a good path for them. So good question. Going to move on to the next slide. So definitely use this degree search. It's a great great way for students to start to explore early on what their interests are. This last screenshot will give you a bit of an idea of some of the other features on this degree search website. Like I said, it's one of my favorite things to use these days. The next slide is all about study abroad. When I ask students in large groups who's interested in doing a study abroad or a foreign exchange, it depends a little bit on where I'm presenting, but I don't always see as many hands in the air as I'd like to, and that's because I think that study abroad is such a great opportunity for students to have. You know, we live in a very global society, and the more that you can know about other cultures, you learn more about yourself. It's just a really great way to expand your experience and your resume, quite frankly. I did a study abroad in Holland for 6 months, and it was really one of the best experiences that I have had yet in my life. So I encourage students to. We have U of A sponsored study abroad trips. Some of our colleges, the Honors College really encourages study abroad. Our Business College has a lot of different options. So there are many opportunities. You could go with a professor and take a class with 20 other U of A students abroad, or you could travel on your own to a destination. You can see at the top of this slide that we have more than 60 countries that are participating right now in our program. So there are a lot of really great opportunities that we encourage students to take advantage of when it comes to studying abroad. And it's something that we would encourage you to talk to your academic advisor to when you first meet them, because if you're interested in studying abroad, it makes sense to start that planning process early on. You don't want in your junior year to be the first time that you tell your academic advisor that you want to go to another country. So start that planning process early. So now let's talk about our admissions requirements. We have, for Arizona students, we have an assured admission if they are ranked in the top 25% of their class and they have all 16 core courses are in progress and are an Arizona resident. We guarantee those students admission. All other students, not only in Arizona but outside of Arizona, get reviewed through our comprehensive evaluation. So in our comprehensive review, we look at a little bit of everything. Our GPA is always going to be the most important thing that we're considering for a student. We do unweight the GPA, but we also look at the rigor of their coursework. So it's important to us to see if you've taken the honors classes or IB or IB or AP courses. So those advanced courses certainly do matter to us, and we see that students who challenge themselves in high school really do tend to be more prepared for the college level work, so we will give students certainly credit for taking that coursework. We want to see if you're involved, how you've performed in those 16 core courses. We're looking for the 4 years of math, 4 years of English, 3 years of science, 2 years of social science, 2 years of a second language, the same second language, and 1 year of fine arts. Now, a question that I get a lot from students is, what if I'm missing one of those classes or even 2 of those classes? We will still consider students who have up to 2 deficiencies, so they can have 2 missing classes, but those courses cannot be in the same subject, so we can't have 2 English deficiencies. They also cannot be in a combination of math and science, because math and science are just too important of a foundation for all students. So you can have missing coursework in those 16 core courses, but like I said, we just don't want them to be in the same subject or in math or science. Now it says on here test scores, and while we do consider test scores in our evaluation through comprehensive review, it is not a requirement that students take the SAT or ACT to be considered for admission at the University of Arizona. So you can apply if you haven't taken the test yet. You can apply and be considered for admission now. Or if you've taken the test and you're unhappy with your score and you want to retake it, you have the opportunity to do that and send those scores to us later. The university will accept new test scores from you all the way up until our application deadline, which is May 1st. So you have up until May 1st to get us new test scores. And anytime we receive new test scores from a student, we will reevaluate them for scholarship money as well. So test scores are not required for admission, but if we do receive them, it's one of the things that we'll consider in this comprehensive review. And the last thing you see on the bottom there is the optional personal statement. Now, we say it's optional because not all students fill out a personal statement, but it is there as an option because we want you to be able to share anything that you feel we should know about you that we haven't already seen in your application. So if you had a rough sophomore year due to an illness or some other personal life experience, we want you to be able to explain that to us. So you can use that personal statement as an opportunity to really tell us anything that you think we should know about your overall academic performance. And that is our comprehensive review. We look at everything. Because of this comprehensive review, the university does not have set minimum GPA or test score requirements for admission, but on average, students that get admitted to the University of Arizona have an unweighted GPA of about 3.4, ACT scores of about 24, or SAT scores of about 1115. Now, the 1115 is without the writing portion because we do not consider writing. So that's the typical profile or the average profile of someone admitted to the university, but of course there are many students on both ends of that spectrum. So if you have questions specifically about whether or not your circumstances, we encourage you to reach out to your admissions counselor and let them know about your circumstance, and you can always email me directly as well. My contact information will be available at the very end of this PowerPoint presentation. So in the next piece you can see in order to get a complete application for the University of Arizona, we'll need obviously the application submitted online. We do have paper versions, but we encourage students to fill out the online application because it is so much more efficient. It's faster processing for you. We need the official high school transcripts sent to us, either from your high school counselor or registrar, or if you use the Naviance system, you can send them that way as well. For non-residents, the application fee is $65, which you can see here. For Arizona residents, the application fee is $50. And then at the bottom you can see test scores if you're interested in being considered for our Honors College or for our merit-based scholarships. So it is a 3-in-1 application. There is no separate application that you need to fill out to be considered for our Wildcat Excellence or Arizona Excellence Awards, which are our merit-based scholarships. It's automatically a part of your application. If you apply by November 1st, we guarantee you a decision by December 1st. Now our first dates have already passed. The October 1st to hear by November 1st. So if any of you that are participating right now got your application complete to us by October 1st, you will be able to check your MyUA account on the very 1st of November and find out what your decision is, and have a packet in the mail not long after as well. So if you apply after November 1st of this year, we will process all applications on a rolling basis, which we estimate normal processing time is about 6 to 8 weeks. So, and again, you can check the status of your application through your MyUA account. Our next slide talk about the very important visit to campus. So we tell students all the time that campuses have personalities just like people do, and the only way for you to know whether or not a university is a good fit for you, in addition to them having the program that you're interested in studying, is by visiting campus. Now, I'm obviously very biased, but I love our campus. I think it's, you know, the most beautiful campus I've ever visited. But we have a lot of really great ways for you to come and experience it. We have an ambassador tour, which is about an hour and a half, 2-hour walking tour of our campus that's guided by a current student. You can ask them questions about what they love about Tucson or what they do on the weekends, why they chose to come to U of A, really pick their brain. So that's a fun opportunity to get to work with a current student. ClassCats is the next one that's listed, and that is really my favorite option. And that's an opportunity to shadow a student for the day. You get to go to class with them, see what professors are like, see what the college level classroom is like, and we try and pair you up with someone who's studying the same thing that you're interested in. Now, it's not always possible for us to connect you to a student who's got this exact same interest. And if you have no idea what you want to study, like many students do, then it's even easier for us to connect you with someone. So you'll look for the information on our visit website. So like I said, that's my favorite one. I think it's a really great way to get an inside look at U of A and what college life is like. The last one, Arizona Experience, is a really great day because we offer you a little bit of everything. It's a very comprehensive look at the university. You get to choose from a long list of options, talk to the college that you're interested in, get to learn more about specific areas of interest on campus, You get to see residence halls, all kinds of options for your Arizona Experience Day. It's a full day on campus. We serve you breakfast and lunch. You get to do a little bit of everything. So it's a day that you, to some extent, get to customize based on your interest. And we have 6 of those offered each year. They're usually on a Friday, not usually, they are on Fridays and Saturdays. So if getting away on a Friday is tough for you or your family, you have the opportunity to come do an Arizona Experience Day on a Saturday. And you can sign up for those options all on our website. You can see the myua at arizona.edu. So visit campus. Nothing more important than touring a campus. Our next slide is our Honors College. As I mentioned in a previous slide, when you apply to U of A, it is a 3-in-1 application. So you'll be considered for admission, scholarships, and for our Honors College if you check that you're interested and you submit your test scores. A lot of really great opportunities with our Honors College. Most high school students that I talk to that are interested in honors want to know what the advantages are, why other students participate in honors, and probably the first one that current students will tell you is that they get priority registration for their classes, which is a bonus. But you have smaller class sizes, a lot of one-on-one access to professors, research opportunities, and really an ability to surround yourself with other students who are challenging themselves, asking questions in the classroom that are helping you think differently about the world and how to solve problems. If you're not sure if honors is going to be a good fit for you, you can always start out at the university and choose to participate later. Students who have at least 12 credits, U of A credits, and 3.5 GPA or higher can self-elect to be a part of the Honors College, and we have a process for students to apply at a later date. So if you're not sure if honors is a good fit for you initially, there's an opportunity to join later as well. But a lot of really great advantages to being a part of our Honors College. And you can see the average profile of a student that was admitted last year at the bottom of that slide. The next slide, our SALT Center. SALT is an acronym for Strategic Alternative Learning Techniques. This is really a one-of-a-kind program that helps students who have learning or attention challenges, and the success rate of our students that participate in this program is really incredible. I actually just yesterday got to sit down and hear 4 different students from our SALT Center talk about their experience and really what the SALT Center has been able to do to help them with time management, study skills, all kinds of things. And I had 2 of them said that the only reason they were considering the University of Arizona was because of our SALT Center. They had just heard from other people that there was nothing in the country that compared to the resources that we have here. So if you have a learning or attention challenge, or you know someone who does, this could be a really great opportunity to get additional support while you're at the university. The next slide shows some of the services available through our SALT Center. You get an individualized learning plan. I think probably the piece that we hear students say they love more than anything is their learning specialist that they get to work with. I've heard them most often described as a parent on campus for them. So if you're interested in learning more about this, again, you can go to our website and just type the word SALT in. There is a separate application for our SALT Center. You would first apply to the University of Arizona, and then you would apply to the SALT Center. There are additional fees to be a part of the SALT program, but we have financial aid and scholarships to help with that as well if paying those fees is a challenge for your family. But a great opportunity, again, if you have learning or attention challenges. So check out our SALT Center. The next slide is all about our Recreation Center, which you can see on the bottom left of the screen is really an incredible facility. It's brand new, and students, we recently did a survey, and I believe I have a colleague here helping me. Was it 80% of our students? About 80% of our student body use the Rec Center for a variety of things. You can see a few images here, but we have all kinds of opportunities for students to stay involved, be active, be healthy, It's an important connection. You're going to be studying, staying up late, working hard, and hopefully playing hard. So the rec center is a great place on campus for you to make more of those connections and, like I said, try and live as healthy a lifestyle as possible. The last slide that I have here is all about how to pay for it. So we have, as I mentioned earlier, Wildcat Excellence and Arizona Excellence Awards that we consider students for when they apply to U of A and send us test scores. But we also have a really incredible and unique resource for students who are admitted to the university called Scholarship Universe. And you can see a little screenshot of it in the center of this page. Scholarship Universe is a search engine. You know, our slogan is "We search, you apply." So we do the work ahead of time to find scholarships so that you're not in a position where you're just going to Google and typing in the word scholarship. So we find really great scholarships. We make sure that that they're all legitimate, because unfortunately there are scams out there for everything. So it's a really safe place to look for scholarships. You fill out a profile about yourself, share your major interest, all types of things, and it'll help match you with scholarships that are a good fit based on your profile and your interest, what your GPA and test scores are. So, and it's something that you wouldn't just use as an incoming freshman. You would use it for your first, second, third, fourth year. We encourage students to look for scholarships all throughout their experience at the university, and that's a great way to find private scholarships that can be used in addition to the other scholarships that we offer through our general application. We also offer financial aid through the FAFSA, the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Seniors this year can fill out the FAFSA starting January 1st. That's the first date that it's available year after year. And you won't just fill this out as a senior in high school, you'll also fill it out every year that you're at the university. So it's important to have that date in your mind as an important one. The priority deadline in order to be considered for financial aid is March 1st. So we encourage students to get their FAFSA submitted by March 1st, but the earlier the better. And we consider students for a variety of things when they fill out the FAFSA and submit that to us. There are grants, which are free money that does not need to be paid back. There are both student loans and parent loans offered through that process. And then finally, work study. Federal work study is an opportunity for you to work on campus and have a lot of job prospects. You do not have to be awarded federal work study in order to work on campus. So if you do not see that on your financial aid package, don't be discouraged. We would still encourage you to work. As I mentioned earlier, we want students to work on our campus, not full-time, because really your number one job should always be studying and focusing on academics. But students who work part-time have higher GPAs, higher graduation rates, they get more connected on campus, so it's an important part of the process, and we would encourage students to look on our Wildcat job link when they get admitted to U of A to start to find job opportunities. But those are just a few of the ways that we help support students financially. It's important to us that the University of Arizona is affordable, so you have admissions counselors and financial aid counselors across the country that are here to help you through the process and make sure that we do our best to get you the package that makes U of A a possible destination. So I don't know if anyone has questions, but this was my last slide, so I will now put it on this piece. You've got my phone number and my email address here, and I'm more than happy to take any questions if there are questions at this time. Type them into the question box. Well, it doesn't look like there are any questions at this time, but feel free to take down my phone number and my email address. It's alassen@email.arizona.edu, and I would be happy to follow up with any of you if you have questions in the future. I'm happy that you're considering the University of Arizona. We have incredible opportunities here in Tucson, in the beautiful college town of Tucson. I encourage you to come and visit and see for yourself what a wonderful campus this is and the great community of Tucson. And if you need anything, you have my contact information. Have a wonderful Thursday.